So, Charlie, what's it like to work at a firm like FFW?
As Chief Operating Officer or COO here at Field Fisher Waterhouse, I'm involved with the day-to-day management of the firm along with the firm's managing partner. That means I have responsibility for all the support functions across the organisation: IT, HR, marketing and business development, facilities, the whole lot on a day-to-day basis. But then I contribute to the firm's strategy and the more important change projects that we're running at any point in time. I've seen more and more law firms taking on the COO role now. I attended a conference last October where I was amazed at how many law firms actually had a COO already. They're recognising the value of that external expertise that can challenge the traditional thinking of the partnership. And if the person in the COO role is an experienced individual with a good track record as a career, they can win the respect and trust of the partners pretty quickly. And that is so important. It isn't just about what the COO can do, it's how he goes about doing it within the firm of lawyers. So the role is now gaining in credibility, gaining in importance, and I think that as you take the change projects on and deliver them successfully, the lawyers are recognising that and saying, yes, we now really understand the benefit and value of having this role in the organisation.
Is being a CEO living the mix of finance and HR that is your background?
The role the COO plays very well to my background. I was a qualified accountant. I was also a change management consulting partner with Waterhouse, and more recently my career has been in international HR leadership. All of those things come together very nicely to address the challenges that we face in the legal sector at the moment. Most of our law firms, particularly in the mid-tier, are run by managing partners who are great technical lawyers but typically don't have any business management or leadership experience beyond running their own practice area. So people like me come into the role of COO to provide that support, having the business experience behind us and also the contribution of knowing what focus on the bottom line means.
What are the challenges for the mid-tier firm in 2012, 2013?
Firms like FFW sit in what we call the mid-tier of the market in the UK legal sector, and those firms face two major challenges at the moment. One is dropping commercial revenues in the UK just because there's too much capacity in the marketplace, and the second one is then the impact of the Legal Services Act, which provides both challenges and opportunities, particularly for firms in the mid-sector. The mid-tier currently has too much capacity, so there's a lot of consolidation going on. The whole area is very promiscuous. Everybody's talking to everybody at the moment about mergers. So there will be consolidation in the marketplace over the next 2-3 years. We've already seen many mergers in the sector: DAC, Beechcroft, Barlow, Lyde, Gilbert and Clyde's, more recently Pinsent Masons and McGregor's. We're going to see lots more of those over the next 2 to 3 years, and that's going to have a big impact on people in my role as we try and bring together the benefits of these mergers for our respective firms. The mid-tier is under tremendous fee pressure from its clients. The clients know there's overcapacity in the marketplace, so laws of supply and demand just say that they will be able to get a better deal somewhere else. And if we don't respond to that by changing our resourcing models, by looking at the way that we price our work, then our revenues will continue to decline and decline until we then become a distressed purchase or merger target.
How are COOs going to help change the resourcing mix in law firms?
We've got to respond to this. We've got new entrants into the sector as well who have totally different business models. They don't have an army of partners who've been together for a dozen years. They have 1 or 2 leaders of the business. They're very lean. They approach the whole thing in a different way. So their cost structures are much more competitive. We have to try and replicate that in those margin-starved parts of our business. We also need to think about outsourcing for key activities within the legal sector, like discovery within a litigation process, like due diligence in a corporate process. These things can be done much more cheaply overseas by very talented people. But that brings its own challenges. So how do you manage a group of 20 people in India working on a discovery project for you when their working day is the opposite end of the day to yours? So law firms have got to learn how to cope with this, and COOs in particular can bring that skill, can bring that guidance, can bring that help to the firm and take the problem away from the lawyers to allow them to concentrate on what they're good at.
Is it the case that firms like FFW need more and better business services people to meet the challenges brought up by the Legal Services Act?
Traditionally and in the past, law firms have tended to put failed partners in charge of back office activities. So someone who their fire has gone out of their belly in terms of delivering legal work or winning new clients, they put them in charge of marketing or IT. That's no way to run a business. What's happened over the last decade is that the partners have woken up to the fact that they really need professional experience and expertise. And when they get it and give it a chance to operate properly, they can immediately see the benefit of having an inspired IT leader who can bring the use of technology into play in the organisation to deliver great financial benefit and much better client service. Professional marketing people who really understand how to analyse a sector of a marketplace and to develop strategies for new business development for the firm, which can then have the impact of both reducing the overall business development spend but having more impact in the marketplace at the same time. Having really professional HR leaders who understand the people issues, who've seen them tackled in other sectors over decades and decades, and can bring that expertise and experience into the legal sector where it's been much, much needed for a long, long time.